trend line as we've been expecting for what will be the fourth time since this pump began back in January of 2023, as moon boys worldwide are clenching their jaws in anticipation of completely dumping inside of them. This data won't just blow your mind, it will also completely knock off your socks. Right now Bitcoin continues its slow descent down to touch on this giga trend line that has been holding the entirety of the year so far and the entirety of the uptrend, and will touching our tips on this trend line for the fourth time in the last 7 months. Signal and initiate a massive bust to the upside like it has the other 3 times, or in fact is this something actually much bigger than you could ever imagine in your wildest dreams confirmed? So we take a look at Bitcoin's chart. You can kind of get an idea if we zoom out here of this kind of uptrending level of support that we've seen for Bitcoin beginning literally at January of 2023. And Bitcoin's price absolutely is at a very critical spot right now. But if we look here first, let's jump into a few charts posted on Twitter, first being by Titan of Crypto. Here a cycle comparison 2016 versus 2023. According to this indicator, it's more likely to be repeating the 2016s than 2019s because of this flip. And what this oscillator is showing is a similar comparison to right now to 2016, which if we would take it at face value and assume something similar would happen, we have a couple months of sideways but also kind of inching and squinching to the upside price action, followed by the biggest bust of our lifetimes times 10, especially if some of the fundamentally gigantic news developments like a Bitcoin spot ETF we get approved right, and if we get continued losses in by the second in their lawsuits and other events like that. But stock money lizards talking about in the past previous markets, this one will be different as he says here, because of crypto payment integration Bitcoin ETFs, with the second decision being right around the halving. Literally, it's kind of crazy. The second's decision has to be right around March-April 2024, which is right around the halving and mass adoption, all that kind of stuff. And we've seen diminishing returns of Bitcoin. The first halving was around a 660x, then the next one was about 110x, then a 22x, and going off that diminishing return we might get like a 4x in Bitcoin's price, right? Which would put it above 100k, but that doesn't seem like that much. However, when you factor in the possibility of an actual Bitcoin spot ETF where trillions of dollars could come in, then the idea of a 8x, maybe even a 10x or something for Bitcoin's price.
That's the last thing that the politicians want to see, or the Fed see, because if the credit rating continued
becomes
to go
realistic,
down
but
and
again
down
that's
and
not
down hat means other countries
guaranteed,
are less.
but this is the cycle that
likely to buy our currency or
I think
bonds,
could
which
surprise
would be
a lot
very
of
bad,
people.
very, very bad indeed.
Because
Keep
it
in
will be
mind
the
this
first
country
it could
has
be
enormous amount of debt, and one
the
of the
first
ways
time
to
in
pay
history
back the
where
debt and to keep
fundamental adoption institutional
going is to sell more bonds, and if we
adoption
can
actually
sell more
becomes
bonds,
real.
we
We
can't
got
repay
a
back the bonds that were
little
already issued, and we can't cover the interest on TAMOS. Well, right,
taste
so
of it in 2020.
We don't
got
want to
the
see credit rating go down,
little
but
itsy
it did
bitsyest
happen
little
today, and I do think that contributed To Bitcoin's price going up because a lot of people are realizing, well, maybe is this so good to be holding
just a
these
little
government
fraction
bonds and
Bitcoin,
notes are not so good to be holding. Let's
entire
hold
crypto
something.
market as a whole at its
Better like Bitcoin.
very
Right, I
height
think
was
thought
like
that a lot
right around
to
3
do with today's resurgence, but
trillion,
that's not
right,
a
if
guess
we
who
get up to
announced
10,
that he was
15,
going to buy
20.
more Bitcoin. Of course, that would be Michael.
trillion in the cycle, and then
Sailor of
obviously
MicroStrategy. They didn't announce
if we would hit those
specifically
numbers,
they would go buy a lot more Bitcoin. But they
opinion, I
hinted
think
it
we
for sure.
would.
So MicroStrategy came
have
out
some
saying
sort of
that
pullback. But again, if
to
there's
sell
true institutional
$750 million
adoption,
worth of
you
equity for things that they want
have
to
to
buy,
think
including Bitcoin, right? Sot hat could be another $750
maybe there won't
million,
be
like a
as
$750 million
big
injection
of a
coming
dump.
into
Maybe
Bitcoin.
it'll be the first time
Michael
where
Saylor,
Bitcoin
the
goes
ultra
up
bull,
and then
continues to buy more and more
doesn't
and more
completely
and more and
retrace
more
like
than
80%
Bitcoins, right? So obviously that
during
is
the
also
bear
pretty
market.
positive. Who don't know when we don't know
personally
when.
still
Michael
think it
Saylor,
will,
the
but
ultra
you
bull, continues to buy
No,
more
that's
and
just
more
going
and more
off of
and
the
more and
fact
more than Bitcoins, right?
we've
So
never had
obviously
these
that is also
institutional
pretty positive. Who don't know
waves
when
in
we don't
money,
know
so
when.
if we do, it's possible
They
that
could
might
actually
not
sell
happen.
the
I'm
equity
still
right when this is coming, but if we don't know Michael Saylor, he's been working
undecided
on
what
these
my
for quite
opinion
some
on that
time
is.
already, and we know all of his buys
like I
are
said,
always
but
big.
I think it's more likely
Hundreds of millions.
yeah,
I think
we
his
will
last
have a
buy was
dump.
250 or 150
Right, I don't think we're
million.
just
Right,
going
this
to
next time will be absolutely
go up
huge,
forever.
right?
A
So
crypto
overall,
can then
today
also
turned out to be a pretty good day. Besides Bitcoin coming up,
talking about Bitcoin, the least volatile.
I see Ethereum is
That it's
coming
been.
closer to 1900 again. Several alts are starting to come back
I
up.
talked
So
about
even
this
though
in my
we have
last
some scary
update,
things happening in DeFi overall,
a
I
few
told you
days
guys
ago,
to
this
stay
is
strong.
big, so how many
Focused,
times
it's
has
a
it
very
been bullish
immature
that
market
the
right now. There's a lot of people
lowest
and projects
volatility of the
working
year
on new
has
things, untested things, and sometimes
occurred? How many times has that been?
Yeah, they go under or bad things happen.
Bullish every
Vulnerabilities
single
and
one of
hacks,
them,
right,
okay.
does not mean they're all bad.
You
but
go
it
back
does
to
mean that you gotta
2016.
watch out for yourself. You can't just FOMO into anything.
2019,
Project just because they're promising something great or high
and
interest or something that's
now
risky.
also in
You just have to be
2023.
careful, right? You can't always
Every
just
time
jump
the
head in first,
volatility
but Thanos
set these record lows.
not mean that they're all bad or the
It was
industry
very
is all
bullish
going
for
to
the
collapse.
price,
No,
and
it just means that people are still
afterwards,
trying to figure it out. And I told you guys, Bitcoin.
it started the beginning of a
It will only
massive
get more
uptrend,
scarce,
so
more
think
and
about
more
that,
people
but
are going to be coming in demand.
also,
Is going
if we
up
go
and
to
the
Bitcoin's
fundamentals
daily
of
chart,
Bitcoin has never ever been
you can
better.
see we're
I've been
still
telling
kind
you
of
guys
falling.
day and I.
Within this falling wedge, we
Out
actually
week in, week out, Monday, out,
bounced.
year in, year out. I've been saying it for quite some time, and I
At
know
the
there
bottom
are
here,
times
as we
where it's
kind
scary.
of
There's volatility. There may be
inched out
hacks
of it, but
or
ultimately I do
whatever
it's
is
very
going on.
likely
There may
we're
be
gonna
government pressures or SC
undip
pressure,
our tip,
macro
as I've been
factors,
saying,
right,
for
that's
a
putting a low top pressure on
couple
Bitcoin,
of videos
but
here
Bitcoin
down to this
leading
trend,
the way and continue to do so.
line
as
which
we get closer and
is how
closer
you
to
know
the hitting
potentially
event, I
a
believe Bitcoin's price
little
will
under
rise up, and
28,000.
afterwards, that's when we see that
Every
parabolic
time
rise.
we've
Right, that is coming. That is coming.
touched
So
on this
stay
trend
strong.
line. Every single
My
time.
friends, that's pretty much for these video. Obviously, you see I am
Well,
still
we
out
won't
and
count
about.
this
Some
one
people,
because
like
we
walking around the parking
haven't
lot and
done it
filming
just
this in
yet,
my
but
rebel
here
car
back
right now.
in June here back
Because
in
I'm
March,
excited
and at
about
the
Bitcoin. I had Tato see
very
it go
beginning
down.
of
I love it
January,
when it
this
starts
trend
coming back up, and I want to get
line
you
has been a
guys
bottoming
updated on
area,
what's
and
going
then
on. That's it for this video. Have a good one.
a massive pump afterwards, right? So will we see something similar this time? I think it's very possible that we will.